Our attention, especially in school. Joining us this morning is nutritionist Sara Vance, and we're talking specifically about ADHD. And it's so interesting how many kids are being diagnosed with ADHD. It seems like more and more each month.
It's crazy. Yeah, there's been about a 40% increase in the last decade.
Right.
By the time boys reach high school, about 1 in 5 actually will receive a diagnosis by then.
That's unreal.
Yeah, it's crazy. About 1 in 10 of all school-age kids.
And new research suggests that it could actually, a lot of these ADHD diagnoses could really be food intolerances, right?
True. Yeah, there was a study that was published in The Lancet, I think it was about 2011, where they looked at kids. These kids were ages 4 to 8. And they had 100 kids, and they put them all on an elimination diet. And 64% of them improved by removing certain foods out of their diet.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So what did you bring here today that we can learn from? This is kind of the don't do
Well, this
section?
is the things to really think about. You know, not everybody, you know, is going to be affected by these foods, but there are, you know, it's something to try. A food elimination diet is where you take things out that could potentially be problematic. Gluten, so things like breads and, you know, gluten's in so many different things. That is definitely something that is worth taking out and seeing if it affects the behavior. Dairy, which is one of the really high ones to lead to to lead to ADHD and focus problems. And you know, that's something, you know, you could just try that for three or so weeks and see if that makes any difference. And then another one that's a really big one are the artificial colors. Mm-hmm. 15 million pounds of food dyes are added to foods a year. And most of these things, you know, as you can see, a lot of these are just targeted at kids. I mean, you know, these are the obvious things. The candy, we obviously know that there's dyes in there, and the brightly colored sodas and sports drinks. But, I mean, we don't really think about these things having food colorings. And the other thing that, you know, you have to watch out for is MSG. Mm-hmm. Free glutamates can really cause problems with some kids.
So if you eliminate some of these things from your child's diet, how soon would you expect to notice a difference after eliminating them, would you say?
That's a good question. You know, usually 3 weeks, sometimes people within days will notice it.
Okay.
You
just
know,
depends on each person.
It depends on the kid, and it kind of depends on the food. You know, so I would do it for at least 3 weeks to give it enough time to, you know, especially things like gluten, you may not know that right away.
And you brought some supplements here that will hopefully help?
Yeah, you know, one of the things that's really important to think about is our brain is about 60% fat.
Yeah.
So, you know, if we're not eating enough healthy fats, we're not going to be feeding our brain. And one of the really important things we need to give it are omega-3 fatty acids. Mm-hmm. Those are essential fatty acids. You have to eat them in order to get them into the body. So things like fish, fatty fish like salmon and tuna, and nuts and seeds, one of my favorite, you know, chia seeds, that's always my favorite thing. That's a great way to get it in foods-based, or you could do a fish oil supplement. Mm-hmm. I like to look for this is a really good one because it's got a high DHA. DHA is the one that acts on the brain.
Yeah.
But you want to have both the DHA and the EPA, because the EPA helps to reduce the inflammation.
Gotcha.
And the DHA is, you know, for the brain function.
Gotcha.
So yeah, adding that can be life-changing for some kids.
And we've got the probiotics over here as well.
Yeah, and a good multivitamin. This one has got vitamin B, that's the methylated form, and that you want to look for like methylcobalamin, and because B vitamins are what creates neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters are important brain chemicals, and if you're not getting enough B vitamins or your body's not converting them, you're not going to get those important brain chemicals. Magnesium's another one. They found that 95% of kids with ADHD actually are deficient in magnesium.
Really?
Yeah, and about 70% of the population is. So that's
interesting.
You know, they call it the calming mineral. So it's a great thing to do for kids. You know, if they're anxious, they could take that before school. But yeah, then the probiotics. You got to heal the gut. A lot of this really is rooted in gut health imbalances. You know, these foods, whether these came first or they were a result of something else, like antibiotics or GMOs is another thing to take out of the diets, because those can really harm gut health.
And what do we have going on over here?
Well, these are some tests you can do. You know, you could do a food elimination diet, or you could just run a food intolerance panel and just really get it in black and white. Another thing that I like to run are these neurotransmitter tests. Those will actually test your brain chemicals to see what's going on. You know, do you have a deficiency in dopamine, or do you have, you know, are you having problems making your serotonin, and are those imbalanced? And you can even do supplements targeted directly at those specific brain chemicals.
Real quickly, how much does the basic test usually run you?
It depends. You know, it varies. You know, you could do like around like 150 and up.
Okay,
so,
gotcha.
Yeah.
But if it helps you with your health, then you have to
Exactly.
wait. Yeah.
You know, I think the downside is it's not as easy to pop a pill as it is to change your lifestyle.
Right, right. Sarah, thank you as always. We really appreciate it. If you would like to get more information from nutritionist Sara Vance, all you have to do is go to our website, fox5sandiego.com, and we've got a link right there to her site at Rebalance Life. All right, Raul, let's send it back over to you.